Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this restorative energy building mat class. So like I just said, this will be more of a restorative mat. We're just going to be moving very slowly and gently, kind of getting our bodies revved up for the week without actually putting ourselves into a state of cardiovascular work. But hopefully this is still energizing for you, just in a way that's a little bit more gentle for your body, and just gives you that nice connection that we all need in order to feel like we can go about our days and just conquer everything that comes our way. So I'm going to invite you to lay on your mat to start with. Hands under the forehead. Feet and legs just relaxing down on the mat. Forehead on the hands. And just take a few breaths here, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you breathe here, allow your belly to fill up with air, and notice how when it gently pushes down to the floor, that also gently expands and decompresses your low back and the back of your hips. Breathing tongue on the roof of the mouth as you inhale. And as you exhale out, just make that exhale last longer than your breath in. Two more times. One more. And from here, as you continue to breathe, just gently windshield wiper your feet side to side, allowing your hips to naturally lift with you, but not going so far over that one hip starts to really lift off the mat. We don't want this to be about back extension here. We're just trying to gently move the femurs under the hips and then the pelvis around the low back. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And a few more times, gently moving. Almost like you're giving your quads a little massage into the floor. And then relax your feet down and tuck your toes under. From here, anchor your pubic bone down into the mat. Notice how that gently lengthens that low back. And with those toes staying tucked, you're going to reach your heels back behind you as you straighten your knees and lift your thighs off of the floor. Then slowly release the knees down. Again, keep that pubic bone anchored as you reach back through your heels to lift the thighs. Feel like that action is being initiated from the hamstrings and lower down. Reaching through those heels, pressing through the toes to help get you into that position. So press through the toes, reach the heels back, feel the quads lift. And now go back and forth. So reach one heel back at a time. Notice that you might be able to go a little bit further, feel a little bit more hip opening in the front of your hip. And switch back and forth. Really reaching the heel behind you and feeling that hip gently press down into the floor. It's almost like we're giving ourselves a little bit of light traction. And keep that pubic bone anchored, so as you're moving here, you're not feeling like you're straightening your leg and
toning and tensing that low back. We want that to stay pretty relaxed. And then go ahead, untuck those toes, take a little stretch here. You can even go back to a little bit of windshield wipering the feet. And now bring those toes back down with them tucked under. Hands are now going to come underneath your shoulders, elbows facing up. We're going to reach the heels back again, pressing through the toes, lifting the thighs off the floor and anchoring the pubic bone. From here, we inhale the sternum up and out as the elbows pull down to your sides and reach down towards your heels. Slowly lowering that upper body. Untuck those toes and just relax. Again, tuck the toes, reach the heels back, lift the thighs. Inhale as your chest reaches up and out, elbows pull down towards your hips. I am not lifting high enough to where my low ribs are leaving the floor. The bulk of my rib cage is still very much attached to the floor. Slowly lower. Release those feet. One more time like this. Tuck those toes. Reach the heels back as you anchor the pubic bone down. Inhale your chest up and out with the elbows drawing down away from the ears. Slowly lower. And again, release those feet. Now, keep your feet down. And from here, we're just going to lift the chest. So again, anchor that pubic bone. Feel that lengthening in your low back. Inhale. Sternum reaches up and out. Elbows pull down to your sides. Hopefully you're feeling some work in your mid and upper back rather than the low back. Exhale as you lower down. Again, inhale the chest up and out. Roll an imaginary ball out from under your chest as you pull the elbows back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and slowly lower. 2 more times. Last one. And slowly lower down. From here, we're going to roll onto our backs. Coming all the way down to the mat. Feet flat. And now we're going to grab the top part of your mat here, pinching it between your fingers and your thumb. Elbows up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to gently wrap the mat just around the top of your head. So I don't have a ton of my mat in my hands here, but I have just enough to where, again, it wraps over my head. Because what this is going to do is this mat is going to hammock around your head to essentially cradle it so that you're not tapping into your neck muscles too much as we do a few of these crunches, and then we're going to hold and breathe in a crunch. So feet into the floor. Gently press your heels into the floor and tuck your tailbone under. So you feel that low back flatten out, ribs to the spine. Inhale through your nose. As you exhale out through your mouth, gently pull your elbows down towards your hips as you lift into a crunch. Head is just cradling and heavy down into the mat. Inhale as you lower without arching your back. Again, exhale, lift. Inhale to lower down. Full breath out, ribs pulling down to your hips. 2 more times. Using those triceps to lead your elbows down, lifting your head, and now hold. Really use your arms to support the mat here and breathe into your back body. Exhale, see if you can crunch a little higher. Inhale into your back. Exhale out and lower down 1 more time. Release your arms on the mat for a second. Just take a big stretch here. You can even stretch out your legs. Maybe gently rock your feet side to side. We're going to do that same sequence again. And yes, you're definitely going to feel those abs working, but mostly what we're trying to do is decompress your spine into that flexion movement, again, without overusing our neck muscles. And our goal is to really expand into our back as we hold that last crunch. So pinch the mat between those fingers, elbows come up to the ceiling, tucking the tailbone so the low back is flat. Take a breath in. Now full breath out as you pull the elbows down, which then lifts the head because the mat comes up. Inhale as you lower and lengthen out as you come down. Exhale, lift, ribs to the spine. Inhale, lower. Three more. And lift two. Final one, we're gonna hold it up. And now breathe into your back. Exhale, lift even higher. Pull those elbows down, inhale. Exhale out. Lower all the way down, releasing your arms back. And just windshield wiper those feet side to side. If your body's like mine right now, I felt a few minor pops throughout my spine as I did that. It felt kind of nice. If you didn't feel it, that's okay. It doesn't mean that your body didn't do anything. Now, last exercise here on our backs. Knees and feet are all the way together. Elbows are squeezing your sides, palms facing one another. We're gonna do what's called butterfly breathing. So go ahead and gently round that low back by tucking the tailbone and pressing that low back into the floor. Your goal is to maintain a quote-unquote flat spine, and you're keeping it down into the floor. As you inhale, open your knees and hands out. As you exhale, feel those inner thighs draw your knees together, ribs gently come in towards your center along with the hands. Inhale through the nose, filling your back body with air so you don't arch. Exhale, pull everything into the center and your abdominals to your spine. Goal is to go nice and slow so you can really feel and listen to your body here. That way, if you're noticing, oh, as I get maybe 2 more inches out with my legs and my arms, I can't quite control my low back. So you make it smaller. But really the best way to have that focus and that concentration and connection with your body is to move slowly. One more time. And center. All right, from here, we're gonna roll ourselves up and come onto our hands and knees. Roll my mat over. All right, from here, we're gonna do a very active cat-cow. So, hands under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We're actually gonna start with tucking the toes under here. And now feel as if you're pulling your wrist and knees towards one another and feel that tone that's created in the bottom of the shoulder blades and the back of your arms as you send the chest out. Now as you exhale, kind of push through your toes as you tuck them or release that tuck, and then exhale to round your back, lifting your ribs to your spine. Same thing, tuck the toes, drag the knees and wrists towards each other as the chest extends out. Press through your toes to flatten the ankle. Exhale, round your back, lift your abdominals and ribs. Again, tuck the toes, drag as you lift your chest up and out. Untuck those toes, pressing up into flexion. We're going to add a little more dynamic movement. So
Tuck those toes under, sit the hips back as you drag the wrists and knees towards one another, sending the chest out. Press up through those feet, untuck as you round. Hips travel back, or go ahead and tuck those toes. Draw the hands in as the chest comes out. Start to press through your toes as you come up into flexion, untucking the feet. Hips start to move back in that flexion as you tuck the toes under, and then drag your wrists and knees towards one another. Chest comes out. Press through your toes, untuck as you exhale and round. Slowly start to move the hips back. One more time, we tuck the toes. Drag the hands and knees in as the chest lifts. Press through your feet, untuck as you round. Hips travel back. Now keep this rounded position with the hips slightly lifted. Walk your arms as far forward as you can and give me 3 breaths here, trying to fill the sides of your rib cage. One more breath, totally letting everything go. From here, we're just going to gently crawl towards the front of your mat. I'm going to leave the camera for a second and then to the back. Opposite arm, opposite leg, but other than that, nothing else too special about this. And again, forward. Gently breathing as you move. And back. Let's go one more time each way. And back. Come right back to the center of that mat. If you need to come off your wrists for a second, you can. Just kind of gently roll them out. But we're going to come right back onto hands and knees. And from here, I want you to feel like you're in more of a flat back, if not slightly rounded. And exhale as you lift your abdominals and ribs up towards your center. If this is hard enough to do for you, or if you just want to practice breathing and holding this, by all means, please do. Otherwise, we're going to tuck our toes under, press down through our hands and lift our rib cage towards the ceiling. And now just gently, barely hover those knees off your mat as you breathe. Lifting the abdominals with each exhale. And then maintaining it with that breath in. Slowly lower the knees down. Sit back into a child's pose. Coming off of your wrist. You can gently sway your hips side to side here. Maybe even let your forehead roll on the mat. Giving it a little massage. Now come back onto your hands and knees. We're going to add on to that. So if that was challenging enough, just hold the hover again. Or you can just breathe in this position and just really focus on what your rib cage is telling you. But otherwise, we take an inhale. Exhale, lift your abdominals and ribs up. And one thing I forgot to mention, make sure here that your elbows aren't pointing forward, or the pit of your elbows. Make sure they're facing in towards one another so you're not locking out and just resting in the joint. From here, just barely hover those knees off the mat. And now we're going to go into internal and external rotation. So move your knees in towards the center and then just move them back to parallel. And center and parallel. Two more. Each exhale and lifting my abdominals, set the knees back. Come off of those wrists, sit back onto your feet. Let's just get a nice stretch through your arches. Especially if you're like me and you have high arches, it's really good to stretch out that fascia a little bit. I'm gonna gently sway side to side. That doesn't mean you have to, because I know for some people this is really uncomfortable.
Breathing as you hold. And from here, we're going to travel to the back of your mat. We're going to do kind of like a version of crawling again, but this time we're going to do it very atraditional or non-traditional. All right, so instead of just walking forward, opposite arm and leg, we're going to cross one leg over another. And I'm going to take that back leg and I'm going to cross it over the front. If this is challenging for you, you can always help your leg around. Hold there for a second. Otherwise, we're going to keep moving. Breathing as you go. And we're going to go all the way to the front of your mat. And then I want you to hold, I'm going to scoot back a little bit, once your right leg or right knee is crossed over your left knee. From here, move your feet out away from the center as far as you can comfortably. You should not feel any cramping or sharp pains in your hips. And gently start to sit back. And then just slowly come forward. And again, sit back and forward. Don't force this stretch at all. It's going to feel different for everyone in terms of intensity, but the goal of this is to not make your body feel such a passive stretch that it's uncomfortable and it actually makes you tighten up. This should feel very, very fluid. Maybe the rocking even just makes you feel a little sleepy. And now from here, hold the hips back so you can feel that stretch in the outer hip. And now what I want you to do is just make your hips move from side to side. It's normal to feel a little uncoordinated and disconnected with this movement because it's just not something we do all the time. We don't normally move in this range of motion or in this position. But it's a good way to kind of wake up some areas of the joint that we don't isolate a whole lot. Again, just gently rocking side to side. And now stop when you're towards that left hip now. Feeling that big stretch, and give me 2 deep breaths here. Picturing yourself breathing into the back of your hips. And slowly come up. And let's switch legs. So cross the left leg now over the right knee. And again, just gently start rocking front to back. Oh, I almost forgot one little part. Move your feet out first, then start gently rocking. See, and the reason I knew I forgot that is because I wasn't feeling nearly as much of a stretch. So that's when it pays to go a little slower. So when your body's not quite feeling something, you know how to correct it. Or in my case, you remember the whole reason why you felt a stretch in the first place. Again, just gently front to back. And you might notice that one side doesn't feel quite as intense as the other. That's also very normal. Now come back into more of that stretched, flexed hip position and rock side to side. Again, find that position where you feel more of the stretch, or the position where you don't feel pressure either through your knees, your hips, or your ankles. This should feel fluid and smooth for the most part. It definitely should not feel painful. If for any reason you're someone who's just had a hip replacement, I would avoid doing this movement for now. And side. Now hold that stretch towards the right hip and give me 2 breaths here. Picturing yourself breathing back into that hip. and then slowly come out of that. I'm going to sit to face the camera real quick before we start making our way upright. We're going to sit crisscross applesauce. If this is not available to you, you can either sit on your knees or you can just completely stand up and do this next move. But I want you to find those two sits bones that are under your hips. Put one hand on your sternum, take a breath in, and now as you exhale, gently guide your sternum down and just relax into your pelvis. Notice how you went from probably being very upright to just back a little bit, not toning that low back quite as much, and we're just relaxing the shoulders. From here, we're gonna cross our arms. Notice I just double cross, so elbows go in, and then I keep twisting so that my hands end up like so. Without letting my rib cage flare forward, I'm gonna inhale as I lift my elbows up, and then just exhale to relax them down. Thinking of breathing in between my shoulder blades. One more. And now uncross, and then go the other way. So now my hand that was towards me more so on the other side is now more away from me. From here, hope that makes sense. From here, inhale the elbows up, feeling a stretch between the shoulder blades, and exhale as the elbows relax down. Two more breaths. Last one. Relax those arms and just dive over your legs for a second. Breathing here into your back. Totally letting go of your neck and just feeling the expansion through your rib cage. Now slowly round yourself up. We're going to come into a deep squat position here with wide legs. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to place my hands in front of me. I'm going to make my stance pretty wide, and then I'm going to start to lower my hips down towards the floor. And I'll turn and face this way so you can also see me in this direction. So from this position, all I'm going to do is gently sway side to side. If you have really good ankle mobility, and if you can keep your heels down and do this, that's perfect. I, however, have not very good ankle mobility. All those years of dancing, at least that's what I'm going to tell myself it is. And so I have to allow my heels to lift as I sway. But that's okay. You do whatever your body has the ability to do, whatever is available to you. And just gently sway and breathe here. Now, stop in the center where you can place both heels flat. From here, bring your arms forward and up. Press through your legs, stand all the way up, and shake it out. We are almost done. We're just going to do a little bit of balance work and stretching here. So I'm going to go ahead and stand on my left foot and bring my right foot forward and up just into like a 90-degree angle. Woo. And just finding my breath as I hold. I'm going to place my hands on my ribs for some feedback. Make sure I'm able to pull them down towards my spine. From here, gently start going into internal and external rotation from the hip. You're just gently moving your femur bone. And we're not meant to have a ton of range of motion in internal, so as your knee goes in and your foot goes out, if it feels really limited, that's okay. It's pretty normal to have that. A few more times. One more external rotation. Now take that right foot, cross it over your left, bring your arms up overhead, and now exhale as you round down, all the way to the floor. And then allow yourself to sit back towards your left hip here. So the leg that's behind you, sit towards that hip. Give me 2 deep breaths. Breathing into the back of your pelvis. From here, take another breath in. And now exhale, slowly round up. I'm putting a little bit more weight through my right foot again as I come up. All the way. And we'll uncross those feet. Shift your weight onto your right foot now. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself that feedback. You don't have to. I'm gonna lift my left leg and breathe as I hold. If arms out to the side feels more stable for you, please do that. Let's just go into that internal and external rotation now. Breathing in and out, holding the ribs in towards my center, keeping those abdominals on. One more external rotation, and then cross that left leg over your right. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale as you round it down. From here, sit your weight back into your right hip. Breathe deeply into that pelvis. Staying round through your spine. One more breath in. Now exhale, slowly round up, placing weight through that left foot since it has a little bit more control. Coming all the way to standing, feet center. From here, go ahead and place either one hand on your chest, one on your stomach. You can do hands on the side of your rib cage, whichever one you prefer. You can also just do arms down. We're gonna close our eyes, feel your weight through your feet. Make sure that you're about 50-50 from left to right, and that you feel stacked right over top of your ankles, soft knees, and a supportive trunk, so not just one area is overworking. From here, give me 3 deep breaths, feeling your rib cage expand, and gently fall as you exhale. One more breath. And if your arms are up, slowly bring them down at your sides. Take one final breath here with your eyes closed, just feeling your body. Noticing how maybe you have a little bit more energy moving through it, some increased blood flow, and hopefully just more awareness of what you're feeling in general, whether it be physically or mentally, or maybe even emotionally. And then slowly open your eyes. And I hope that you guys have a great either day or rest of your day, just depending on what time it is when you're taking this class. Thanks for moving with me, and I hope to see you next time.